everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Haven't really talked a lot about the year of the stencil lately because I've migrated it into the decade of the stencil. I love layering stencils, so today I've got a really cute birthday card project to share with you. Plus, I'm testing out a brand new tool that I just added to the craft/dining room, and we'll have to see. Will it be a thumbs up or will it be a thumbs down? Who am I kidding? How could I thumbs down craft supplies? To see my cute birthday card and the new product that I'm using, stick around. That video is coming up next. Here's a look at the two key products that I'm using today, and this is a fun little birthday stencil set. It's called Layered Candles from Pretty Pink Posh, and check this out. You've got the layer that adds the detail, you've got the layer that adds the flames, and the layer that adds the candles. And I think what I want to do, well, I'm going to start with this layer because I want to create a rainbow blend of candles, the same blend here with the details, and then add my yellow in for the flames. I'm going to use this wonderfully large Birthday Wishes script. Kind of see how big that is. It's big. And I've chosen a rainbow here, and I'm going to show you this. We're going to do Bubblegum, Cheeky, Canteloupe, Lemonade, Celery, and Seafoam. And for all of you purple fans, it's okay. I promise. You know what? If it turns out that I need an extra, I got you. So let's grab a few things here to get started. I'm going to be using a new tool today, and I want to talk about this thing because this is Tonic Studio's metallic matte board, if you will. I saw my friend Neenah Marie Trapani, who I will link to her YouTube channel, because if you haven't watched Neenah, the woman is a wealth of crafty goodness. But she had been using this, and I wanted to try it, and here's why. I have a smaller magnet board. It's from Wendy Vecchi, and I love it, but I always thought, I wish I had the bigger one, so I ordered this. Now, keep in mind, you don't need to have all the things, right? I have all the things because, well, let's see here, I'm going to go this way, because I work in the craft industry, but I wanted to see if, in fact, and let's see, I'm going to try to use my board accordingly. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take a tiny piece of purple tape just to hold this in position, okay? We're going to be right there. That is only for the corners, so this doesn't slide and move. And instead, I'm going to try holding, oh my gosh, these are heavy. I'm going to try holding my stencil with magnets. Now, will this work? I don't know. I'm going to use the grid so that when I come back in, I'm going to be able to, use the grid again. We're going to go one there and one there. Now, is it going to hold in place? Well, I guess we're going to have to find out, because we're going to work our way in rainbow order. Let me grab my pink brush, and I'm going to have my cloth here too, because I like to see what was on here before, just kind of wiping this down. All right. And my goal, if I succeed, is to create a little rainbow. Actually, you know what? I think I'll move the magnet as I go, and we'll see if it holds. I mean, it might. You know what they say. I don't know what they say. Okay, so, well, I'm going to load up my brush right here, and I'm just going to start in with the bubblegum out here. Now, I'm going to go light with this because the detail that I add is going to be darker, all right? So we're just creating a soft blend across the front of this card. Now, so far, the magnets seem to be holding pretty well. All right, keeping it light. I'm going to be keeping all of my brushes off to the side, and we're moving in with Cheeky. And I am going to grab my red brush, but I need to really make sure I clean this off because I know I was using something quite bold. So this is how I clean my brushes most of the time. Sure, every now and then I'll give them a good clean, but for the most part, I just wipe them down to the best of my ability and move on with my colors. So I am going to ink up over here And also too, you know, you can tap off a little on this, I guess. Look at that. And then it wipes right up. If you don't want to come in too heavy, and I don't, I'm going to come in like this now. And again, we're just working across. Like, and I don't even think I really do need to hold it that firmly. So this is kind of cool. There's our band. We'll overlap a little like that. And I'll come back with the pink. Just go like that. All right. Not bad. Okay. And you can see I am going soft with this, right? I'm not, well, no, let's bring in our Canteloupe. I'm not putting a lot of pressure because that's going to come with adding the details. Load this, you know, and I could be having a little piece of paper over here too, but I guess I'll just do this for now. And I think I'm going to make a switch with the magnet, right? Just to get that little friend out of the way and come in with the Canteloupe and just blend in the orange. You know, this might be a cool tool. I don't really know, having never used it, but nothing's moving. When I ordered this mat, it comes with the 2 magnets. I tried to order extras because I'm sort of a magnet over magnetizer. I'm an over adheser, so it makes sense that, you know, for magnets I would be like, can I have more magnets? But they didn't have the extras. So let's move on to our yellow. This is lemonade. Load up lemonade and bring in this color. Nice soft blend. I am going to trim this panel down a little bit for my card, which I usually do. Here, I'm gonna move you that. Is that, how about there? You know, I could bring in other magnets too. I'm just trying the product as it was intended. So we'll see. We don't know. But it seems to be holding it really well. And the grid is helpful, right? Because if you have a grid, well, then you know where you're going. Green is next. Celery. Love this color. Let's get our green brush. You know, I haven't used the term year of the stencil in a while. I think because I think, and I could be wrong, I feel like it's just going to be the decade of the stencil. Why not, right? The decade? Doesn't that sound good? I like the idea of the decade. The thing about stencils that I never really knew before I started card making. I just kind of thought of stencils as like, well, that's kind of cheesy. Who stencils? You know, like the only thing you could do with a stencil was just to kind of put something on your wall, you know, like a pattern. But what I have discovered for myself is that stencils allow me to color things quickly and to make it look like I know what I'm doing. And it's always fun, I think, when you reveal what you've just done. So this is the Seafoam. See, I run out of room for purple. Now I am going to hold this a little here just so the stencil itself doesn't lift. I don't want to get underneath, you know. And I'm not too worried about that corner of tape because, as I said, I'm cutting this down, but I'm going to overlap just a little here. Okay. Like that, right? We're getting a little there, a little blue. All right. Well, I guess we'll see what that looks like. There's not going to be a lot of blue in this, and that's okay. That's our first blend. So let's take a look. I'm going to lift up the magnet. 1, 2, and up we go. That is really pretty. I like that. Okay, so now we're going to come in. We're going to do the same position on the mat that we did. And what's going to be so great about this is that, I think that looks right, doesn't it? Maybe a little bit straighter, and you can see through it to do it. I'm going to go, oh my gosh, these are super strong magnets. We'll just do that for now, just really plunk it down. And now we're going to repeat the colors. Coming back with the Bubblegum. And now I am going to go, I'm going to hold this here, go a little darker, just a little darker. Because these are the details of life, right? We're bringing them in, coming down here, coming down. Just kind of look for where you had the color, right? And bring it in like that. And I think on these smaller ones too, it's important to hold that in place, or to press, actually, to press through so you get that little bit. And I don't know what it's going to look like. Let's move on. Bring back Cheeky. Okay. Load up Cheeky. Again, I'm just going to slide that a little bit out of the way because it's kind of awkward. Okay, there we go. Cheeky. Let's bring in Cheeky. Okay, Cheeky's coming down at an angle. I want to bring in my Canteloupe. Okay, and actually I'm going to pop you there. Just move your magnets as you need to, right? And now we come in with the Canteloupe. Going for a little overlap, like that. Oh, that's going to be fun. There's going to be this sort of tone-on-tone look. Coming back with my lemonade. And tone-on-tone is fun, right? It doesn't always have to be in your face. But I am going to press a little harder because this is such a light color, the yellow. Well, I mean, it's not that light, but it's light enough. And it is going to be the yellow that I use for my flames, just so that I get some nice color harmony. See, I think taping the paper down is important underneath, just because you don't want that slipping on. This is a very, oh, look at it's all turning. Very slippery surface. You don't want that. And now we'll just come in here with our green. See, the stencils. Oh, is that stencil okay? Stencil just moved a little. We don't want that. All right. So magnets in the right position, again, because it's so slick. Don't do what I just did. Don't put them lined up right there, because then there's no, oh gosh, there's no opposing anchor. Okay. I don't think we screwed the pooch. We'll see. Isn't that a cute tone on tone? And the rainbow preserved. I'm telling you. Now I don't need to wipe anything down yet. All right. The last bit is to add, and make sure that I should have pointed this out, but when you're using the stencil, you want to make sure that you can read that right side up, right? Because that, even though this is labeled as stencil B, I'm using it as the third and final. One there, one there. And all I'm going to do for the flames, lemonade. That way, we're going to have a wonderful color harmony through the whole thing. And they'll look great. They'll look great. I don't want to mix up anything different for flame. I don't care about having, shadows on the flames. Although I could use a smaller brush and try to get some dimensional depth. But you know what? We're just doing this. And this is how it's going to be. And we're going to be happy. Okay. Although that would have been cool to do. I could have done that. You don't want to have too many couldas when you're card making. Nix the couldas. Just enjoy the process. Have fun. Blend on that. Oh, look at that. It's so fun. Bringing you up. So I think my verdict on this is really great for stencils. I've done a few things. I've put layer in stencils I've done in my Misty, which is a wonderful little hack that I learned from my friend Simon Hurley. And that works. There's always ways to do things, right? And if you like the idea of a magnet board, and I'm going to commit to using this and seeing what I think, it might be a cool tool for you. Also, there's the Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station that's larger. That one's really cool too. All right, how about, you know what, while we're here, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to see if I can get any depth in there. Okay, wiping this down. And actually, you know what you could do? You could take a different yellow, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to load up and just go at the bottom of each, like that, a little bit. I said I wasn't going to do it, and guess what? I just turned around and I did it. But it's not hard because you can see that. I just don't think it's going to show up much, and that's okay. But yeah, I can totally see how this little mat might be a cool thing for me. How does it look on camera? Does it hold light well? Or that's another thing too. Sometimes I just don't know. Is a new material going to look good? But the light in my craft / dining room, let's make it straighter, it's pretty good today. So I film with studio lights and natural light combined. Normally I have the studio lights up just to fill, which I do today. But sometimes there's a beautiful light coming in depending on the time of year. And I think this mat looks nice. Okay, I'm stopping. I don't think that made a hill of beans of difference. But you know, you can always try. Oh, the whole mat looks crooked now. Well, okay, let's reveal our candles. Ah, oh, look at that panel that I just made. I mean, seriously? That is freaking adorable. That is adorable. Okay, I am going to clean up. I'm going to go wash my stencils off. I assume, and I could be, you know what they said in the Bad News Bears when Walter Matthau put assume up on the board. I assume this just cleans, oh yeah, cleans up like a dream. Wipe it down, right? Ooh, that doesn't smell so good though. I should wash that. And take off my tape. Jewels, not tools, right? We don't want to use our fingernails for things. But I think this is very cool. I just made it smell bad, so I'm going to wash it with a clean, something cleaner, and we will proceed with creating this card. So I went ahead and I cut birthday wishes out, and I'm just going to pop this gently out on my Gemini. Little thing that I have noticed when I use my Gemini, and I'm just showing you this in real time because I take my time with these things. When I use my Gemini, oh, that is the tittle. Holy crap, how am I not going to lose that? I'm going to put it on this block. That is the only way that friend is not going to get lost. Look at that. Look at that little guy. He's just asking to be lost. I feel like when I use the Gemini, I get a smoother cut on the surface of the cardstock. Probably because my plates are cleaner. I don't know. But for these like, oh, and there's another one. There's another tittle. Oh my gosh. I may have to just use sequins for the tittles because that's going to be a crazy stack. But I just love the cuts that I get on these detailed, delicate words. Did it stick to the back? Where did it go? See, that's just it. The tittle's almost gone. But there it is. So I like to use my Gemini for this. And I had to angle to fit this in. But what I'm going to do, after I poke all of these little friends out, which I like to do on a piece of foam, let's see here, so that I don't bend anything, because look, you can just go boop, boop, boop. Look at that. And you can boop, and you can poke like that. Boop. Maybe it's a different boop. Yeah, you know what? You can't extend the boop everywhere, let's be real. But I do like doing that. So if you ever have problems, just get a piece of cheap little craft foam like that, and it helps you to cut. Another thing I want to show you that I haven't really talked about a lot lately, but sometimes, you know, when you get your die cut out, it might have little die hairs. Like if I zoomed in here, there's like dust from the paper. So you can also flip over your dies. I'm going to show you this with this cool Heffy Doodle thing. I love this. I actually just ordered a second refill for this because I've been using this a ton for masking. But you can just kind of go like that, and when you gently peel it back, it's gonna pick up. Oh, can you see on here? That's die hair. I know, it's crazy, but like it just gets little pieces. You don't have to do this. Sometimes I feel like the anal retentive chef from SNL. How many of you are old enough to remember that hilarious, in my opinion, Phil Hartman sketch where he was a chef that was so concerned with cleaning up, he never really got to the cooking. But now I have my greetings that are going to go on this card. Oh, it's going to be so cute. But I need to build up some dimension. So I will cut out 2 more from some Neenah Solar White in the 110 pound for a little bulky lift up. Well, not too bulky. So let me get those cut and we'll glue this together. And while I'm over at the die cut machine, I am going to trim this panel down with one of my Waffle Flower Layers dies. And I think I'm going to bring it in. Sometimes I go to the 3rd one in. I don't even know what the measurement is. But this way, I want to get, well, maybe I do need to be up one more. You know why? Well, I don't know. I like that we're going to get a little bit of, I could even do an angle. Could I check? No, I don't want to do an angle. I want to get a little of the top and a little of the bottom and a little of the split. So how about like that? I'm going to put some tape on it so that nothing happens to that. I'm going to tape this into place as well, just to save that crop. And now we'll go cut a bunch of things and I'll be right back. I want to show you another thing. I just ran my die through and I don't think I had enough pressure. Do you see how furry that is? This happens, and sometimes you might need a metal shim to get a cleaner cut. But don't throw the towel in. Here's what you can do. Take some sort of, dullish blade, and you can scrape this. I do this sometimes. I just don't show it very often. You can kind of scrape around like that and that, and just kind of clean it up manually, because it will start to look better and better. And then you can do the tape trick. I'm actually going to go ahead and cut another one out with my shim in place. And I've never done that on my Gemini, so I don't really know. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm going to give it a try and just see the difference after I finish cleaning this up. So just don't be discouraged if this happens. And it happens. You gotta take it all. The truth, the beauty with the pain. All right, I'm going to go grab this die again, and I'll show you the results with the shim. So I'll be back in 2 and 2. No, I don't know. Does anyone remember that show? Please drop me a comment. Okay, I'll be right back. This sandwich that I use on my Gemini, I just learned about from Jennifer McGuire. She has a great video on plates. I will also pop a link below if you want to catch Jennifer's video, because I have been cutting with these green plates. And, oh, look at that. It really pressed into the metal. There's my Gemini shim. That's the first time I've had it. I've just never used it. Now let's look at the difference in the cuts, okay? I'll get that out of the way. Let's see if it is a better cut. You know what? It's a better cut. I can kind of see it already, because I don't even need to poke this on a mat. That's without any scraping. That is a better cut. It's a better cut than that fuzzy friend. Can you see the difference? So, experiment with shims. Every machine will have instructions usually on how to use the shim. I think I'm going to keep I'm not going to throw any away. I'm just going to keep going as is. So let me get all of these prepped for the gluing process. All right, I changed my mind. I did do a second one, and I am not going to use the ones that were really fuzzy. And even so, look at this. Look at all the paper that still comes off. So try the die hair removal. Now we'll glue. I'm going to use my spray bond. Get that shook up. And we're going to build over here on wishes. Now I have tweezers now just dedicated to sticky grossness, and that would count here. So I'm going to pop this down, upside down. Come on now, flip over. There we go. And I'm going to add my layer of adhesive. This is just something you got to practice, right? It's taken me a while to figure this out. I still mess it up sometimes, but I always kind of make sure to hold my breath. This is not something you want to breathe in. I spray a little to make sure it's running, hold my breath, and I blow. The reason I blow is I don't want it to float up and coat my camera. Let's take the first white layer, and these are tricky, right? This is not an easy automatic lineup. I'll show you. It's gonna take a little effort because it's so, well, actually, yeah, we're gonna wing it. I gotta grab from the center. Oh gosh, Cathy, it's very sticky. And that's how it was meant to be. Come on now, there we go. I like to try to start with the swoopy-doo and then work my way around with the letters. Now, it's a little tricky, right? Let's get in here. Let's get you guys there. Actually, though, that lined up pretty well. Look at that for the first try. Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little better at this sort of thing, and I might not even, well, I guess I will hold that a little. Let's do this layer. Just start on one side. See if you're getting it lined up. And even if you're off a little, it's not the end of the world, right? I'm not perfect at this. But I will tell you, I've gotten much better. Look at that. That's pretty well lined up. And I will grab a brick once I'm sure and press. And then I will do the same thing off camera for the other layers of birthday. Okay, birthday wishes. I'm going to set that off to the side and bring in my score buddy. And we're going to score this. This will be a landscape orientation card. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, and you score it right there at that little asterisk, 4.25. Like that. Then I'll grab my other bone folder, Teflon bone folder, fold this in half and give that a nice press with that sort of flat side there, the curved side, which I love. And I'm going to go back and forth a few times. And what's so beautiful about this cardstock, it just doesn't crack. Can you see that? Look at that. Oh, buttery goodness. Okay. Taping it closed because I cannot place a panel to save my life. Well, I mean, I could probably if I had to, but I prefer my panels to be flat because this cardstock wants to pop up. And now I'm going to take foam tape off the back here. Let's use this little friend instead of my nails because what do we like to say in crafting? Crafty friends? Jewels, not tools. Now, for the most part. Now you can see how nice this is going to look on the panel. Let's just get that lined up. Got a little at the top, a little at the bottom, and we're going to frame it out with this nice margin of space. And I think that is going to look great. Oh, here we go. Look at that. It's super fun. Oh, I love it. Now, here's what I was thinking. For this, I just want to have birthday wishes cascade across the front. That's it, at an angle. Because, you know, the angle would be kind of fun for introducing a little playfulness, right? Little playfulness there. And I'm going to get them as close as I can. I am going to grab this glue, the Barely Art. And I'm going to take one of my tapey things just to make sure it's flowing. Let's see here. Oh yeah, it's flowing like the River Nile. Okay. Then I bring this. So these are my new tweezers. I've had them for a while now. They're from Honeybee, and I actually think they're kind of cool because if you look at this, the grip is a little bigger than the EK Tools one. And you know, that's kind of cool. They're both reverse tweezers. You squeeze them to open, and they're constantly in that pressure closed position. But one of these is for my goopy stuff, and one of them is for when I do this. Now, oh, that just shifted a tiny bit. So all I'm going to do is I am going to use liquid glue for this, and I'm just going to put little daubs. This is why I love this little friend, because I can make them very tiny. Moving our way. Also, this dries clear, so look at my tiny dots. Oh, they're so tiny. Oh, and you see that little hair in there? If you see a hair, scrape it away. Okay, well, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Now, we're looking at that side to side again, and we're just going to drop it down like that, right there. Birthday wishes. All right, so let's get the glue on here. And then I'm going to have to build up those tittles. And yes, I saved them. Look how small they are. There they are. Oh, I tell you. It's funny because I have worked as a graphic designer for my entire career, minus the first 6 months when I was just an editor for a small grocery store chain in Texas. That's right, I was the editor of the Minyard Country News. And then I became an editor for a company in Minneapolis when I moved here. And then I just took over the design department and taught myself everything under the sun so I could be a good graphic designer. True story. But I never knew the term tittle until I became friends with Laura Basson, Laura Fedora, another person who inspires me and is also nice as French fries. I tell you, she's a salt of the earth person. And I will also, I'm going to link everyone below. I'm just in a linky mood. But I never knew about Tittles until she talked about Tittles. And the thing is, she's a graphic designer as well. So I'm like, where did I miss the memo on the tittle? Now we're going to nestle that close in. See, like that. And press. And see, we got about the same space there. I like that. All right, let's press down. So yeah, Tittles. Now here's where I just literally blew away all my Tittles. Oh my gosh. Literally. I think when I don't know what just happened. Oh, they're on my finger. That's hilarious. So let's recount. You know, maybe I just want to put, rather than build up Tittles, what if I just put a tiny little sequin on it? What's that? Tiny. You know what? I feel like that's just too big. Huh. Well, maybe there was a reason for the tittle. Now let's see. There's one of the golds. You know what? We're going to have to go back. I found enough to count. Okay. Tiny dot there. Okay. And tiny dot right there. Now we have enough. We can do this. We can rebuild it. We can make it better than it was. There's one. Okay. See, we're doing 3 layers of dimensions. See how that works? There would have been no way to stack those just on their own. But you know, it's ridiculous. I think I'm going to have to cut another tittle. Unless I find it. I might have to pause the video and go on a tittle scavenger hunt. Okay, there's that. And come on, Tittle, where are you? Oh, it's right there. This is the best day of my life. You might think, Kathy, you need to set the bar higher. But you know, when you lose a tittle and then you find it, I dare you to find anything more joyous. Okay. Pin goes in. Whoop. And I'm going to zoom in just a tiny bit more for the last tittle placement. The golden tittle. It's like the golden snitch. And place. I might have wanted them to be higher, but you know what? I think sometimes you just got to go with your tittle placement. And now you can see we have golden dots over our eyes. I think that's very cute. Now the question is, do we want to add a little golden shine? Now you can bring in some sequins. I don't know. This video is getting real long, but I think what you should take away from this, oh, what if I put just a couple in here and over here? What you should take away is stencils are fun. That's the takeaway. Stencils are fun and birthdays are worth celebrating. So let's just see. How about that? How about that? Just a little, you know, that's where I kind of say I want to go with the bigger one in the middle, right? Because then you create the cascade, right? You know about this little cascade, right? We just do that. What about that? Yeah, I think it needs to be in closer. You know, it'll add the shine that we're looking for. So let's boop it up. Let's start it. Oh, Kathy, take it out. There we go. Okay. So here we go. We're going to go like that. Little dot will do ya. Boop. Nice. Boop. Boop. And the reason I like this in here is it has more of a connection to the center. Does that make sense? If I placed it over here, we'd have a little bit of open space, and that open space would feel trapped. Trapped open space is just a thing in design that sometimes will make your eye go, why is that there? Okay. So that was a boop and an explanation. Boop. And boop. And that is the finished card project. Oh, now I'm telling you, we covered a lot of ground in here, right? One of my hopes is, though, that I break things down in a way that show you, if I can figure out how to do this, so can you. But look at the fun shine, right? It just pops the right amount on that super pretty stencil background. You can find all the supplies that I used in today's card project linked below in the description box. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you back here with another card project soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.